Hey, welcome back to the Astrology of Things. I'm your host and certified astrologer, Sheena, and today is February 5th, and February 5th, 2024, and it's 9:22 p.m. And I wanted to talk about Pluto's transit through Aquarius and how that may impact you as a Libra rising. But before we get started, I just wanted to mention something about my personal practice as an astrologer. So, for me, I'm deriving my analysis from the idea that Pluto rules Aries. So, this attribution is not practiced in traditional or modern astrology, and it's something that I've actually adopted through my studies of the late Carl Payne Toby. He was an astrologer, and I really resonated with his work and his perspective on astrology and his teachings. And he really helped me break out of the astrological box where I was accustomed to just memorizing the planetary placements and the aspects and memorizing keywords for the planets and the signs. And he really explained astrology in a way that helped me understand the deeper meaning of astrology and helping me to really understand the system involved. So with that in mind, I'll get into my analysis. So Libra rising, Pluto is the ruler of your seventh house. So the seventh house is the domain of our interpersonal connections and one-to-one relationships. So this extends to our business partnerships or business contracts, including, the company we work for. It's the house of our open enemies, and it represents our shadow side even. And, usually our shadow is reflected back to us through these relationships. So Pluto will be taking its luggage, and it'll be transiting the fifth house. So if we look over to the chart, we see Aries on our seventh house cusp. So Pluto being the ruler of Aries, we look at Pluto traveling from the seventh house into this fifth house, transiting through this fifth house. So imagine this, seventh house, there's this person that's traveling or triggering this fifth house. This person, or let's say it's a business. I was trying to draw a skyscraper, but this this is not turning out how I was picturing. But just imagine this is like a business or something. All right. So the fifth house is the domain of leisure. It's our pleasure, our fun and entertainment. It represents things like gambling and sports, for example. It also represents our fruits that we produce, whether they're creative projects or children. And it represents how we have fun, what we do for fun, how we let loose, and how we creatively express ourselves. So for you, Libra rising, there is going to be a brand spanking new beginning in your fifth house. So this transit will be focused around new ways of expressing your creativity, fresh and pioneering ideas and ways to approaching your individual creative projects. It will be focused around new ideas and concepts of what fun is, fun, entertainment, and leisure, what that means to you, and how you introduce that into your life and how you participate in it. And this extends to new ways and new perspectives about children, whether it's having children or your way of parenting. So these new ways of seeing and participating in these aspects of your life will be unconventional to you in a way that it breaks you out of a particular mold or fixed mindset that you've had in these areas. And it's like you'll be seeing these things from a new perspective or from a new set of glasses, and you'll be able to assess why you've had that previous mindset, and assessing the outcomes that the mindset had resulted, how that mindset has resulted in your life. So these changes, new perspectives, and ideas will be triggered through some type of interpersonal relationship. It could be a marriage or a contract or a business partnership, or maybe this is even through an open enemy that you have. So something that directly stems from this person or business, maybe it's just the energetic synastry and chemistry between the two of you, or their presence, their essence, or their influence in your life will spark this innovation and freshness and newness in your 5th house. So this will be subtle, as Pluto's transit is really slow. So it'll really take some time to start to obviously see these changes. But if you are a introspective and reflective person, you should be able to, see these changes now. And so some examples of how this transit could play out is, let's say you're getting married to someone who has strong beliefs and desires for building a large family. In this belief, or their belief in turn, influences you and changes your perspective on having children. So for some reason, this person's able to help you see this area of your life in a new way, and they may have alleviated some of the concerns or challenges you've previously seen with having children. So maybe you were afraid to have children, but this person, gives you the security and the stability to have the confidence in going down this path of having children. Or maybe it's not that serious. Maybe it's just the fact that you got married, and in a traditional sense, the next step for you is to start a family. This could also play out as, let's say you are a painter and you've been creating paintings focused around the human form, but now you start breaking out of those types of paintings and that subject of your painting, and you break free from this pattern, and you start to paint and explore the animal form or an alien creature form. And so this pivot may be due to a newly signed contract from a patron or from an art commissioner who let's say they need this artwork for this particular themed artwork for, one of their clients, or maybe they're working for finding artwork to include in a movie set. Or maybe, let's say you start a new job at a new company, and this company pays for you to travel to foreign locations and build client relationships. And a part of that job involves you wining and dining these clients. And this, in turn introduces you to a new level of luxurious fine dining in other countries. And this, maybe helps you to realize and appreciate the joy, the fun, and inspiration in trying new cuisines and fine dining. So those are some examples of how this could play out, but this could play out in thousands of different ways. So I hope this helps to give you some insight on what to expect during this transit from a general perspective, and I hope that this has resonated with you in some way or another. And then I just also wanted to note that just always remember that astrology is really, really complex, and it's nuanced, and that each transit that's happening for everyone is actually going to be very, very unique to you, and how that transit impacts your personal natal chart will be different, because we have to consider your personal planetary placements, your personal planetary aspects, and those planets' dignities and abilities. So I wish you luck in this transit, and feel free to report back about your personal experiences in the comments.